6:30, so I'd like to call this meeting to order with a pledge of allegiance.
You missed one, Harold.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Casey Barney. Lee Sharps.
Here.
Kathleen DeWolf.
Here.
Harold Lamos.
Here.
Fran Newton here. I don't see any public comments. No sign up. Okay. Do you have any? Do you have a comment, Susan? No. Okay.
There's not much on the agenda.
I didn't think so, but just checking. All right. We have minutes from June 4th to approve. Are there comments, corrections?
We had one from Jane.
Okay.
I got
Did
that.
you want to read
You got that? You want to tell us what it
something?
is? Okay.
Okay, so it was on page 3, lines 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
So she changed the sentence that starts with Chair Sawyer to Chair Sawyer has filed an application for a water event permit from the Guilford Division of Marine Patrol for the boat parade and distributed copies to the Board of Selectmen and police and fire departments for the towns of Ashland and Holderness.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anything else?
I didn't see anything.
Okay. Hearing none. A motion to.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Page 4, line 15.
Okay.
Is that, it says 6/6. So is that
6/6?
reflecting
6/6.
6/6/18?
That was the meeting that we had with the Joint Loss Committee that I was present at the morning.
No, this has to do with Williams Architect.
Oh, well, they were at the same time.
Is that the right date?
Yeah, it happened like 2 days after the meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was the
all right.
walkthrough with Williams
Oh, yeah, that's-
Architect.
Yes.
Okay.
You guys.
No, it says will be
Wednesday?
conducting, so I didn't know.
Well, the
when
meeting
this
was on June 4th,
Right.
so it's 2
It's
days
after.
after the
I didn't
meeting.
know if they were referring to the one that's gonna come up
Yeah.
next week.
Okay. Okay. All right. Hearing nothing else, a motion to approve the minutes of June 4th as amended.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Consent agenda. So for the week of June 4th, the accounts payable is $66,862 and payroll is $42,114, which includes $19,018 for New Hampshire retirement. For the week of June 11th, the AP accounts payable is $1,925 and payroll $17,096. Okay, I think we have a department head meeting or item. Chief Heath.
Yes, in front of you, you have a packet that I put together relating to the acceptance of the new fire apparatus. It's been completed, and it's actually in New Hampshire. It's down in Milton, undergoing final adjustments and so forth before it's brought up. And I anticipate its delivery sometime in the next week or so, perhaps a little longer. But it should be here. And I just, in preparation for that, the final payment made by lease company to Toyne, the manufacturer, can't be made until we have all our paperwork documents in place.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to accomplish tonight.
Okay.
I came to it at the last minute. So the first page is just the agenda report. And the second is a couple pictures of the truck. While we were in Iowa. We left here Thursday. We were out there all day Friday. We were in the factory going over the truck, doing the acceptance test procedures, and the quality of the truck is outstanding. We were very pleased with it. A few minor adjustments to be made, but these people have been incredible to work with. They built a truck that we wanted. They didn't build us a truck that they wanted us to have. So we're very pleased with the way that all worked out for us. The third page is the invoice showing you what the total figure, the contract amount was. That doesn't include does not include the interest as we make payments.
Right.
but it's the base price and the amount that's remaining to be released to Toyne by Community Leasing Partners. The next page is an email I received, ironically, that was sent the day we were flying out there, and I didn't get it till I got back, but it was an inquiry from Community Leasing Partners regarding getting these documents all lined up. So, and then next are the two documents. I have the copies that need to be signed right here, but I wanted everybody to see the same thing. Exhibit A is a payment request form for the balance that's due, and the last part is the acceptance certificate. And we are very pleased to say that we see no reason, the three of us went out there and went over that truck thoroughly, we see absolutely no reason to not accept, and I recommend that we accept the apparatus. The next is a certificate of origin for both the cabin chassis and the body, which will be signed by the Toyne rep once the truck is brought here. And the one from Spartan Motors has already been signed. It have to be sent to the leasing company. And then I saw Charlie this afternoon, he initiated, and I was contacted by Primex, because there'll be a certain period of time where we have the new engine here as well as the old engine. The new engine will not immediately go into service. There's going to be a period of training on it. We're going to have to transfer equipment. We've got to take the radios out of, probably one of the last things, take the radios out of engine 2, put them into the new engine. So there's going to be a period of time. So we need to insure both vehicles while that's going on. So Primex has arranged for that to all take place. And so I just have to provide proof that a certificate of coverage for both for the new vehicle even before it goes in service. But I don't dare take the coverage and just swap it immediately when the truck hits here, because as long as we're still running the old engine until the exact moment we turn it over to the to East Coast Fire Apparatus, we need to maintain coverage on it.
Any idea how long that will take, Steve?
I do not know. We've got a rather busy period coming up with the July, that first week in July. So we would like to complete all that before then. And chances are we're not going to, depending on exactly when the truck gets here. But,
are you going to be able to put the new truck in the parade?
It's insured, so we can. It is.
Well, it's very exciting. I'm really pleased to see this all.
It's an outstanding piece of equipment, and I anticipate it serving the town for many, many, many years.
Great, great. Well, can I have a motion to approve this, the payment request form for $33,633.53?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Any board discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So I will sign that, Steve. And a motion to approve the acceptance certificate?
I'll make that motion also.
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Excellent. Yes, that's very good.
Do you christen the new trucks like a boat, like a new boat with a...
We should have some kind of a ceremony. We've been trying to
No,
get
I
this.
don't want any scratches on that. I don't want anything on that truck.
That is good luck.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of traditions in fire service in regard to new apparatus, and I know in Laconia they push the truck in. We got another plant outside the station. I don't think we're going to do that.
They really push it in? Seriously?
They do. It's a tradition they have. They've done it with every new truck they get. But they get a nice flat apron in front of their station too.
Okay, here you go, Steve.
No, I don't think we are going to do that.
Okay. Well, we should have some kind of acknowledgement, some kind of a celebration or something,
banner, a ribbon
whatever.
or something.
That's it, a ribbon. Excellent, excellent news. Any other department head issues? New business? Do we have any new business? No new?
Wait a minute, are we gonna do the town administrator updates or?
That's next,
That's
isn't it?
next.
Charlie's.
Okay.
Under
So,
old
old
business,
okay.
yeah, okay. Old business, town administrator
that's right.
updates.
So, a few updates here from the departments. As usual, I'll read these for members at home watching. The library had 588 people visit. In May, the patrons borrowed 906 items from the library and used 77 downloadable audio and ebooks. They have a couple events coming up this month. They have discount passes to the Polar Caves and Squam Lakes Natural Science Center available for checkout. The teen night at the library will be held Friday, June 22nd from 6:30 to 8 p.m. You can register for the library's summer reading program now. Book group will be held on Monday, June 25th at 7 p.m. And on Thursday, June 28th at 6 p.m., the Squam Lakes Natural Science Center will present Animals Sounds. It's a 1-hour program featuring live animals.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
This program is free too and open to the public and will be held on the library lawn.
Nice.
Preschool story time will take place on Friday, July 6th from 10:30 to 11:30, and the Friends of the Library summer book sale will be held on Saturday, July 7th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Director.
Parks and Rec, they had 12 kids a day at the after-school program. Let's see, a couple other highlights is they had sign-up night for the summer camp, and they now have 22 kids signed up for the camp, and they're still accepting forms. You can get those forms online and at the town office in the Booster Club. Councils for summer camp have been hired. They're going to do training before the camp starts. They had CPR and first aid certified through you guys? Yep.
Deputy Bousquet.
At the fire station.
Nice.
Yep. He's going to have another one too, I think, if any of the selectmen want to go to the CPR. It's open.
Oh.
Is it open to the entire public?
I mean, hands only. Pardon?
Is it open to anyone in the public?
Yes, it is.
You know?
Oh.
We tried to do it during EMS week, which was toward the end of May, middle of May, and we didn't get a single response. We offered an afternoon session and an evening session.
Yeah, I had something
When is
going, but
it?
I'm going to try to get to the
Yeah,
next
what is
one.
the date of the next
Yeah,
one?
when's this
The
CPR?
CPR?
Yeah.
When's the next one?
If we can get some people that want to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting, because his chief was telling me
should
it's
do
different now. It's not just pump and then like breathe, right? There's different training for it.
I got certified
I'd like
a
to
couple
do
years
that.
ago. I
Me
don't know
too.
how long it lasts, so, yeah,
I'd like to do
consider
that.
doing it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kathleen, you too.
Me too?
yeah.
Sure.
Well, we'll send a email around
Yeah,
and maybe
right.
we'll post
That's
it to the
cool.
website
Yeah.
and stuff and maybe get some
We'll have to
feedback.
post it.
Okay,
All right. So Parks and Rec. They have 4 lifeguards this summer. 2 lifeguards will be on duty at the beach every day, and a third at the snack shack. So, and then they'll rotate them. They settled on the playground that they, the new one that might be installed, and Ian's going to have some information coming out about that shortly. Beach opened on June 18th, excuse me, and will be open from 11 to 4. Summer camp starts June 25th. It runs for 7 weeks. The last day of the camp is August 10th. The hours for camp are from 8 to 4:30. Fire department had 52 calls, 35 medical emergencies, 13 fire rescue calls, 4 motor vehicle accidents, and no service calls. They continue to do training. The new engine, as the chief just spoke about, the ballistic vest helmets. Remember, we approved that grant a couple weeks ago. That grant's finally arrived, and they're going to be scheduling practical portion of the required training. And they continue to do their life safety code inspections. DPW has been very busy. They are well into their spring cleanup, and they're on their way to the summer projects. They completed painting the crosswalks and parking lines in town, completed the remainder of the brush cleanup on all the roads. They removed a stump, a large pine tree on Levitt Hill Road that came down this spring. They finished the Riverwalk cleanup, or Mechanic Street, where they removed a few trees, some small ones, took care of the knotweed, and they put in some plantings. I don't know if any of you guys have had a chance to see that
no.
over there. Yeah,
I
It
would
looks good.
certainly
It's
make it a
different.
point to go over
Oh,
there.
it
That's
looks
great.
so much better.
That's so
Yeah.
nice, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good.
They plan on removing the rusted fence, and they're gonna have it cleaned and painted and put back up
Nice.
once
I
it's
think
refurbished.
they may want to contact
Nice.
somebody about that.
Yeah, I was
It
just
has a
gonna-
plaque on it that says "Forever Here," paid for by I believe it's the EPA. That was the original
Oh.
railing. For the
David
bridge.
might know about it.
David would know all about that.
Oh,
The railing at Riverwalk by the bridge.
Oh, that was the old bridge railing.
Yeah.
Yes, it can't be removed. Is my understanding.
Well, you're gonna put them back, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, as long as the foot, everything's the same. Yeah, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I just didn't. You don't want it gone.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So people say, what happened to it?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna go back.
Before you go further, can I
Yeah.
comment on this?
Sure.
I spoke to you early about the stump.
Mhm.
Are they talking about at Memorial Park or at the horse trough? This is what,
I
I think this is what we
can't-
need to,
The park, isn't it?
well,
We don't own the horse trough land, so.
no,
Yeah, we
no,
don't.
that's,
Okay.
That's right.
Which stump to
they cut down the cedar tree there.
Yeah.
But the town does not own that property.
Right.
So I don't think they should start trying to pull the stump out until that's been resolved.
Oh, not pull it out?
Not pull it out.
Excuse me?
Yes,
The town
David.
has been maintaining that since
Yeah.
the ground block was
We've
torn
always
down.
maintained
Yeah.
it.
It's not like,
No, but once it was discovered that the town did not own it,
well, the town's never owned it, so we've been maintaining it for 50
it doesn't mean we
years.
need to continue to maintain it now that we know the town doesn't own it.
Well, I think the town knew who owned it when they started maintaining it.
Yeah.
So it was not,
No, I remember this discussion. You're the one that brought up that the state owned it, and
right.
Chief Randall did some digging into it.
Yes, Tom.
Literally.
Yeah.
Isn't this pretty simple?
Yeah.
I think you talk to DOT,
Yeah.
because they're not gonna come and maintain it for you.
Right.
No.
Absolutely.
No,
We
yeah.
want the town of Ashland to look inviting to
Yeah.
people. So we should just advise them that we're gonna maintain it, and do they have a problem with us doing that?
And that's what it is, the documentation.
And here's the fact of the matter is, they're gonna say, no, by all means.
Yeah.
What you gotta do.
Exactly.
I would agree,
So
so,
I think it's
Exactly.
just merely a conversation with the state.
Yeah.
And I agree with Dave, we've been maintaining it forever.
Forever, yeah.
But,
So
but,
I don't think we're gonna stop doing it.
well, just have Craig talk to DOT
Yeah.
and, make a note of it so that it's on,
Yeah.
on file. Yes, Susan.
It's also our understanding that Mr. Adamski is also in communication with the state.
Yes, he
As
is.
to whether he can buy that or have
Right.
an encroachment easement. So it's in the mix of who's doing what to.
Right.
So I guess
at
that's
what
why,
land.
that's why you would talk to the state.
Yeah, at this point
He's gonna get an
until,
easement on it or not.
yeah, until,
As far as I'm concerned, a moot point until somebody signs paperwork that says he's gonna get some type of.
right.
but this is the importance of having something
Yeah.
documented, so everybody knows.
Yeah, in case we
Where
get
everybody
questions
is
why we're,
questioning
yes.
doing this.
So just have Craig talk to DOT and put a note to file. Okay.
It's just where it said water fountain, most of us refer to that as the horse trough, so I don't know if he meant that
Yeah.
or the water fountain at Memorial Park, and that's a totally different issue.
Yeah, okay.
With any stump removal within the setback of, with DES setback, they
Okay.
can't remove stumps from Memorial Park. They have to remain in place, they
All
can
right,
be
well,
ground.
Charlie, could you clarify what that
got
is?
it.
Thank you.
The other item that was Craig brought up is adding a picnic table on Riverwalk. They found some paved area that they might be able to put a picnic table.
Okay.
So they installed the 150th banners with the help of the Ashland Electric Department. They started to ditch, grade, and seal the dirt roads. They completed Albrook Road.
And I saw them on Thompson Street today doing the same thing.
Nice.
Yep, me too.
Well, that's not a dirt road, but they were ditching.
Yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
too.
they were ditching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they put calcium on Albrook Road.
I think it's calcium chloride.
Calcium chloride.
Keep the dust
That
down.
keeps the dust down.
Yeah.
And I think he said he might do that on the transfer station road too, because it gets really dusty there.
Yeah.
Crack sealing has been completed this year. Roads completed were Collins Street, Short Street, Glove Street, River Street, Highland Street, and Albrook Road. They continue to mow the grass on a weekly basis. This includes the ballpark, Memorial Park, the beach, the fire station, an area on Winona Road and Short Street, in the area of West Street and Main Street. Craig wants to give his thanks to the Ashland Water and Sewer Department. They were kind enough and purchased a roller and new trailer for the guys to use. The Water and Sewer Department paid for it. It was $6,750 for the used roller and new 2018 trailer. It's 2 times bigger than the old roller and works great. So thanks to you guys for purchasing that for the town.
Nice.
We didn't purchase it for the town.
No.
We purchased it for our use.
For the department.
And we are happy to let the town use it when it's available.
Okay. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, got it. The town clerk collected $140,000 and $1,045.13. The liens went out for $303,249. The warrant total was $2.9 million. Tax bills were sent and due on July 2nd. The clerk had $37,943 in vehicle registrations, $260 for dog registrations, and vital records of 148 of copies.
Okay, thank you. Project list.
Yeah, now my stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, the TAP grant. There's no. When I wrote this, there's no updates, but I think I have an email I can send you, Mike. I think Mike might come back at the next meeting. He continues to move that along.
Okay.
The Thompson Street, Smith Hill Road reconstruction. I've had another update since then. I had to pre-apply for the Clean Water State Revolving Fund along with the Drinking Water Fund because drinking water doesn't really have as much resources to lend as the clean water. But with that being said, I did keep the application in on the drinking water, but only for the grants.
Okay.
Because there's no grant on the clean water, there's only principal loan forgiveness, and the grant is on the other side.
Okay.
Long story short, hopefully we'll find out by the fall.
Okay.
Now, I will say this, it looks, after talking to the engineer, it looks like the price for this project has gone up.
Well, of course it has.
Yeah. It didn't double, but they told me that the water side went from $40 a linear foot to they're seeing about $80 a linear foot.
So just to clarify, that's not the whole project.
It's not the whole project. I clarified that because I was like, wait a minute.
Because if people hear that it's going to be $4 million,
that's
they'll
right.
freak out.
Yeah.
So
No.
it's not.
He clarified that for me. Now, with that being said, DES told us one thing that we can possibly consider to do is to go out to bid for this, and assuming we get pre-approved on the priority list and we get the grants and the loan forgiveness and all that stuff, we could work with the engineers and put this out to bid in November or December to get a clear number to go to town meeting.
Okay, that's good.
And then obviously talk to the voters about voting for it.
Okay.
Whether or not we can change the application, DES kind of cringed at me a little bit. So I don't know. It is an option for us to get clarity because right now our bid was from 2016.
Yeah.
And it's been 2 years and who knows how much it would really cost.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and of course anything comes up with this along the way, I'll let you know, but I don't think we'll hear too much until they put everyone on the priority list.
Okay. Thank you, Charlie.
LW Packard Mill site, we have a joint meeting scheduled tomorrow with the Ashland Economic Development Committee, LRPC, Novus Engineering. Were you able to get DES?
I am not sure what the current status is. I know invitations, originally they were planning on coming as well as somebody from Northern Borders, I think, but I'm not sure who's coming. I think mill owners have also been invited, but I don't know what the RSVP list is. I would like to emphasize this is an important meeting, and again, this is not to make decisions. This is simply to have a discussion and allow an opportunity for questions. We need to make sure we know what all the information is before we take the next step, so I would encourage people to come to that. Chief Heath will be there, so he has a few things to say, so.
Okay, so the L chip, I have a little bit an update for this. I actually have something to pass out for the selectmen. This is an interview questionnaire that needs to be completed by the Board of Selectmen. I talked to Norman today. He would like to schedule a meeting with the Board of Selectmen. Well, if you can, June 25th at 4 p.m. So what this is, it's an interview questionnaire, and he's really looking for feedback from the Board of Selectmen. He's also asked that town clerk, Chief Randall, and myself to fill it out. It's, to clarify, it's not so much the needs of the building and what we need, it's the need to support what we do. From an administrative perspective. I also, later today, I sent out a questionnaire to Sue McLeod, Mardine Badger, the planning board, zoning board, the building inspector, and the welfare director, because she uses the office sometimes. Basically, the staff in the building have gotten sent questionnaires, which it's different than this. This is an interview.
I am unable to make the 25th. I don't know how the rest of the board.
What
It's a
time?
Monday.
And what time?
He also gave me Wednesday, June 27th, between 7:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. Or we can just push it off till mid-July.
I can do the 27th. I can't do the 25th.
What time was it on the 25th?
The 25th, he preferred 4. He was willing on 4, 5, or 6. He said it should take about a 45 minute interview. But if not, Wednesday, June 27th also works. If not, we can just push it off to mid-July.
Actually, the 27th isn't good for me either, but what does the rest of the board feel? I mean,
I like the 4 o'clock.
on Monday.
Yeah, I do too, but
Oh, you can do it without me. I can, I don't, it's
I'm
not
not sure if
essential
I'm
that
gonna
I'm
be
here.
here.
You're not sure if you're
I'm
gonna
not
be
sure.
there? Okay,
Try mid-July?
let's try.
Yeah,
mid-July.
yeah.
All right.
Okay,
that'd
thank
be
you.
better. And 7:30 is way too early.
But in the meantime, we should fill these out and
Yeah.
turn them to you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can fill those out and get them back to me.
Okay.
And so I can send them to Norman.
Okay.
Okay, so the town parcel audit. Patsy actually started to get going on that. She's pulling the property records for CAI Technologies.
Great.
He certainly said she's proactive for that. That project's probably not really going to get going on their end until December.
Okay.
I have no updates on the personnel policy. Basically, as I said before, the legal framework is pretty much been written for legal to review. The other aspect about requests for any changes, like days off or personal benefits, will still need to be discussed amongst Tony and Patsy, and to see if there's anything to bring forward for the board to decide upon.
Okay.
The town office building, I did receive another quote from another company about tile and carpet flooring. I still need to review that with Chief Randall, really to determine if we should put tile on the top floor or carpet in. The Riverwalk, as I've mentioned before, is cleaned up.
Could I?
Sure,
Could I
go right
ask something
ahead.
about the town office building maintenance? Could we, at some point too, I know we're doing the walkthrough and the interview, get some kind of a idea on what it would be for the window replacement? because I worry about the air quality in the building.
Yeah, it's been a problem for years.
I know, I
I've
hate to
tried
do all this at the same time.
No, it's
but-
fine. I've looked into it. Susan's
Well,
McLeod
isn't there a possibility, and I will, let Susan speak to this one, if we get this L-chip grant completed,
Yeah.
that there are grants out there for
Yes.
historical buildings?
Yeah, because Hopkinton just replaced all their
Yeah.
windows and it was almost, I can't remember
Yeah.
how they got it.
I
but
mean,
it was
it's a
almost-
possibility that we could look into,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
clearly the windows are a priority.
Yeah.
Just for
I
the-
looked last year and talked
Yeah.
to one company, and he wanted quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to get him out and deliver him on a flatbed to Portsmouth.
Plus, we'd probably want to have reproduction so that would fit in with the
I
architecture.
think we're jumping ahead.
No.
We
Yeah.
need to have this
We-
assessment
No,
done.
his was keeping
I know.
the same windows
Yeah.
and restoring
Restoring
them.
them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
because I thought we didn't want to throw
Okay.
them away.
Susan?
Yes, Susan.
You're jumping ahead to
Yeah.
the point of,
Yeah.
let's just take some of the Lexon off and see which one's actually still open to get the air quality that you want to have some fresh air in there.
Did some
Yeah.
of them open?
I
I
don't
We
know.
don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
it's sealed up for
We don't know.
Ah.
No one's
Sealed
done
from
it.
the outside.
All right.
which is
Yeah, I don't
also
Well, that's something that they can
destroying
look
the
at.
integrity of the
Yeah.
exterior.
I don't think
trim.
many of them open. The core
Oh, that's a
kinda
good point.
cut.
That would be nice to get them fixed. I agree. Okay.
All right. Where am I? Riverwalk. As I said before, that was completed. The town office building fire alarm. Mangle's all done with that.
Okay, you could take these two off and put them in archive?
Yeah,
Nice,
Great.
yeah, we can.
nice.
Yeah. Talked to Spectrum today actually and canceled the internet service to the building.
Okay.
The speed bump, I notified DPW about someone said the little green man.
Yeah.
We don't know what else to call him.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
The crossing guard.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tony said he's gonna try to make more of a presence there.
Yeah.
This summer to hopefully slow cars down.
As a little green man?
Yeah. Weren't we supposed to get a price for that little green man? Wasn't Craig gonna look into that?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
think
we
it
should,
was
I mean,
anything
if the
significant.
beach is open, we need
Yeah.
something
I
there.
mean, we might be
Yeah, it
surprised
is
what it's
open.
called. It's
We
probably
might
called-
be,
It's probably called
Something formal.
but it
Yeah.
should be done soon,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Because we've got kids now coming to summer camp.
Start May 10th, yeah.
That's it. Any other questions about what any of these or what's
Whipple
remaining?
out the back
The
page?
back page, is nothing,
There's not-
no
yeah.
updates.
Okay, got it.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
I have a couple, well, yeah, okay. So the Whipple House keeps, I think it'd be helpful if we sat down with the Historical Society
Mm-hmm.
to speak to what their, what their vision for the future is. This lease has not been updated since
Mm-hmm. Okay.
1978.
Yeah,
Sure, the language needs to be brought up to date, and we need to work with the Historical Society, because the town does own the building. It is a town asset, and we want to have it used in the most full way that we can.
Yeah.
And the only way we can do that is to sit down and talk with the group who is now leasing it.
I think that's a great idea, and it says the lease is set to automatically renew in December,
December,
so we
so
should
no-
do that sooner.
Yeah, so by November 30th, if I remember correctly, we have to inform the Historical Society whether the lease is going forward
Yeah.
or if it will be changed.
Okay,
So this will give, we need to probably start this after all the July activities are over.
yeah,
August, September, October.
Yeah.
To work it out with the Historical Society and
Okay.
how we're going to do this going forward.
good, that's a great idea. Okay, anything else on the project list?
Why do we still have utility partners on
Yeah, I
this?
was gonna ask that question, I think we can take that off
Take
now.
that one off?
Yes.
Actually, Utility Partners is bought by some other company anyway.
Good idea.
I think it's
Oh, yeah, you're right,
old
yeah.
business, so we should just remove it.
I have something I'd like to add. The cattail area down at the beach, I had one resident speak to me. She happens to be one of the beach ladies that likes to sit down
Be there.
sit down near that area. When we had the walkthrough, and Harold probably can remember this, for the beach replenishment,
Yeah, I remember that.
that originally that was supposed to be a sedimentation collection area. It was never properly maintained, so everything that ran off Levitt Hill ran underneath the utility fence and into this, it was supposed to be a rock-lined, basically holding area. And as the sedimentation built up, the cattails took root, and each year as the cattails died down, it just adds more vegetative matter for them to grow. And we can't trim along the jetty because that's within the setback, and you have to leave all that stuff in place. So it's grown up quite a bit. But when I spoke to the DES person who came on the sidewalk, I said, should we do anything to this? He goes, no, actually, this is perfect. You should not touch it.
Really?
Okay? And this is just like a clear cut forest. Eventually, after you clear cut, the smaller trees come back in, and it's, what's it called, successional development. You know, the different plant varieties come in, and then eventually it becomes a forest again. So that area wants to revert back to what it was before. And it might be better for us to let it do that, because to go in and to redo that sedimentation area is going to be a dredge and fill, and it could even be considered a major project.
Yeah. Well, I would take DES's opinion, frankly.
But this is something we can discuss with DPW. Maybe they can contact DES and ask them to come down and do a site walk. I even asked about, should we put like a boardwalk in there for people to walk, and the man from DES said no.
Okay.
No.
All right.
So it will relieve the maintenance issue.
Sure.
It's probably not the prettiest area, but eventually wildflowers could take root there, and it could be an attractive area.
Okay.
In the meantime, they can still cut back the cattails in the fall to get so the matter doesn't keep building up and building up. It is slowly, that area is turning into a little wetland.
Okay.
Which a lot of people like. You know. Kids go over there and look for frogs and whatnot.
Right.
So.
Sure. Okay.
So
All right.
I
Thank
think
you.
the only thing we need to do there is put a padlock there so we can keep monster trucks out of there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Select board items. Lee, I believe you had something.
Yeah, I'm going to combine my liaison and an issue that I want to ask the board for consensus on, so I don't have to bore everyone twice. Planning board, we discussed a businesswoman was asking for an extension, a 3-month extension on Mill Pond Road for her Craigslist business to sell used vehicles. They're not on her lawn, they're in the garage. It's not a retail business. She's waiting for her license from the state to come through, and then she'll be moving it wholesale to Belmont. So we agreed to that extension and a status report that she's going to be giving us in a few months, in 3 months. And we discussed the our ad for the land use assistant, and I think that was about it.
Okay.
I just want everybody to know that I'm asking for a consensus tonight, and I've not talked to the board about this. It's a policy process change. It was never a town voted policy, so it's actually a process. So I'm going to, before I explain it, I will ask the board for consensus to eliminate the citizen complaint /issue form from the website and physically from the office, and I'm going to tell you why I would like a consensus to approve that. I have to look at my notes so I won't forget anything. As I said, it was never a town voted policy. It was a courtesy form that was established a few years ago by a board. I believe the process of the submitted citizen complaint inquiry has been abused in the past year. It was never meant to be accusatory or defamatory for individual board members against individual board members or the board as a whole or citizens, and it was never meant to be a platform for debate or to draw the board or the public into a debate. So people know we are not bound legally to put complaints or right-to-know requests on the agenda. We are not legally required to respond in public or otherwise to complaints. And we're not required by law to discuss complaints in public. Further, the written form now in process does not legally bind a board member or the board to sign it, nor is it required of them to respond. And my reasons are stated above. I'm hoping for approval of the board for this consensus. And I want to return to the recourse that's always been available to the public and always still was during the form process. And that is, you can come in physically and see the town administrator. He'll resolve a complaint or issue, or he'll go to a department head if necessary, or he will refer it to the board, or he will refer it for a legal response if that's necessary. A citizen can file a right to know request. It'll be answered in 5 business days, and our attorney will deal with that if that is where it is going in that direction. Again, we're not required by law to report to the public any right to know law requests that we receive. And thirdly, a person can ask to be on the agenda and physically appear before the board. The complaint issue must be clearly stated so it can be written on the agenda and not sprung as a surprise. And again, the administrator, in my opinion, will determine if the issue can go on the agenda. In other words, not accusatory or demeaning in any way to a citizen or board member or the board, is not speculative, and is not damaging to any resident's reputation. So again, I'm asking for a consensus, I hope, from the board to approve eliminating the citizen complaint / issue from the website and from the office, and that would also preclude us from discussing these complaints at public meetings.
I would agree with you, Lee. I think it has not been used the way it was intended. It's one thing when we get a concerned citizen issue that affects the town, but when they become arguments or, you know, just complaints about a department or something else, it's a waste of our time, it's a waste of the town's time. And as you said, there are other ways to handle those. Not that people don't have a right to complain, they do, but I think that form has been used improperly many times and has caused complications with doing our town business. So I would certainly agree to that.
I would too. The other thing is, filming these meetings was great as far as getting the information out to the public. I think we all agree this is at this time, this is the best way to reach out to the majority of the people. But at the same time, now we're dealing with things that happen. People are watching it and then commenting on it days, weeks, and months later. Yeah. I don't think that's the direction the board needs to go. And as everybody that's sitting here knows, that we are talked about in other towns. At the Perlac meeting last month, as we went around the table, there were 10 of us, and we introduced ourselves. When it came to me, I said my name, you know, what I did for the town, and what town I came from. And the person sitting next to me from Campton went, oh, Ashland, you know, we watched those meetings. And then people started tittering. Right there, my role was diminished. Before I could even do anything. I'm from Ashland, and I felt that whatever I said was going to be taken probably not in the way I hoped what I could, you know, get to this committee could do. And I think we've all have known this for quite a while, that people in other towns look at us. It's almost like we're a reality show, and sometimes I wish
they're watching unnecessary debates that we don't need to talk about in public.
That we're here, like tonight.
We have a lot of business.
This traditionally was a work session. At one time, and I'm sure you two remember, that the tables were put together, we looked at each other across the table, and we talked about things that needed to be done. The first Monday of the month meeting were the formal meetings, where things were announced.
That's right.
And this meeting was for us to work.
That's right.
Because I don't know how you feel about things. I don't know you or you. And we sit here, and we're not winging it, but we aren't collaborating at all.
We need to have a free-flowing discussion. Yes, absolutely.
And I would even put forward that we don't take public comment at work sessions. That's our meeting to get our work done. And I'd even go so far as that we don't, in the future, maybe even film it.
I would draw the line at filming.
Me too.
And only because we have insisted on transparency.
Yeah. Yes.
And in the past,
Right.
work sessions had been done behind closed doors at a
Yes.
time
Yeah.
that the public wasn't welcome, or they weren't, it
No, we
wasn't
should
as
film them.
easy.
We should
I
film
think
them.
we should still film them so that the town knows exactly what we're talking about and what
But
we're
it's
doing.
just setting the tables up in a different way. We are looking at each other instead of there.
Yeah.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
Now everything seems to be focused towards the camera
Yeah.
and not to each other. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, originally
It's, see, I can't even see Casey
Originally,
when you lean forward, and we need to make eye
Yeah.
contact with each
I think
other.
some of our unplanned meetings that we've had in the town hall, because we are face to face, have been much more productive and much more give and take. And you're right, this is kind of restricted.
We've come stilted almost.
We have become.
That's a separate issue, though. I mean, if you know, Casey and Harold want to talk about, I would like to propose, you know, that consensus, asking for a consensus on what I propose first.
Yeah, let's do that.
And
Okay.
then talk about the work session.
I'm
Okay.
gonna play devil's advocate here because I can remember watching these the original filmings from when I first moved to town, when they first started recording, and I sat down with popcorn. It was great. But if you get rid of your public comments, it's going to be like it was 2 chairpersons ago when you had the deli number
Yeah,
where Tony's standing.
I don't
want
wanna
to
do that.
People coming in here taking swings at you verbally and on video camera because they can't submit a piece of paper saying this is my qualm. Last time we had someone booted out of one of these meetings is before you had your citizens complaint form, and it was one of our spouses. So, you know, if we want to go back to there, we want to deal with more dirt coming out on video camera and not letting people put it down on paper. Maybe the way that the paper is dealt with needs to change, and not just the doing away with it altogether.
Well,
Maybe
I
it should be
suggested they
in-house.
can. They can come in
Yeah.
and
Right.
give a complaint, write it, or verbalize it. Not
I
get
just
rid
don't
of
want to
it.
see it go back to there because I got I got one of those in my memory because I watch it and laugh. You
No,
know,
they can. There's the process, and they can still come in. It's always been there, the written or
People are
verbal.
supposed to participate in government, not to sit passively at home and do it. And I would, well, don't you remember when people used to, a lot more used to come to the meetings? And now it's
Yeah,
basically.
but that's fine. That's why we film it for the people at home.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But at the same time, if people come to the meeting, it's totally different than watching at home. And I sat out there for how many years? 3.5 years. And sitting out there is totally different than sitting up here. It's a totally different feel. It's been a long time since you guys have done it, and people need to come and participate. And if it means that.
Ask Casey.
Yeah, I definitely want Casey's opinion too, but there is a compromise here, and one is to keep the form, but that the town administrator makes an executive decision whether or not it's town business that should be discussed at a meeting. If there's something that the board should discuss to affect town, that's one thing. If it's, you know, complaining and stuff, we don't have to deal with it.
Not
It's
that,
some of those-
Not
I just
that
have to jump
form.
in.
They
No.
can come in and
Yeah.
write
Yeah.
it, but there's no. It's legally we don't have
Yeah.
to sign that. We
Yeah.
don't have to give it back. We don't have
Yeah.
to respond in public. I think they should just come in, give you
Yeah.
verbally, or
Yeah.
give you the written report, and then
Yeah.
you know. If it needs to be responded by a department head, you
Right.
ask the department head.
Yeah.
If you think it should come to us, you bring it to us.
Yeah, well, anything that relates to the Board of Selectmen, you guys get.
Yeah.
I'll say
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We do get a lot of complaints about, or well, sometimes DPW, even
Parking and
Tony gets
plowing.
some, that we don't just send them all to the Board of
Yeah.
Selectmen
Right.
because
But
they're
that form
handled.
encourages people to write things that they might not write otherwise, because here it is, a concerned citizen form,
Yeah.
let's complain about,
Yeah.
you know,
Anything,
Schmo.
anything.
And that's not effective use of
Yeah.
that form, nor
Did you
our
say
business.
Donald Trump?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I did
okay.
not, I said Joe Schmo.
I was gonna say that's great.
No, I did not. Casey, would you care to express your opinion?
I mean, I see valid points to both sides. I think it has been used at times inappropriately. I agree that more people should come in if they have complaints. But I also think that having that form there is more of, it's not an incentive, but it's more of, it's like an the easier thing to do. Say someone doesn't want to come in, so they can't make a meeting or something. It encourages someone to still get their voice out, as opposed to just having to set time aside.
But they can. They're bringing it in. It's just we're not going to discuss complaints in public.
Well, I mean, then that's fine, but I think getting rid of one of the means of bringing something to us is not a good idea. I think altering the way in which things get to us, you know what I mean?
Should
Like
we
if we were
tweak
to
the
adjust
language on it?
like if we were to adjust the form in a certain
Let's
way.
let's look at adjusting
I
the
think
form, but
that would be
again,
a better
each
route
one
to
of
go
them
down.
is a subjective opinion as to whether or not it's town business.
Right.
And we should not be wasting the town's business or our town's time or our time discussing these, individual complaints.
And we don't need to do it in public.
And
We
we
don't
don't,
need to
no.
bring up
No.
complaints in
No.
public
Most
and
things
waste
can be handled
our
offline.
meeting times.
Exactly.
As a board, you don't have to accept public comment.
I know, we know
That's the
that, but
difference
I would never want to get
But
rid
a
of.
public hearing, you do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, obviously.
We're not a public hearing for the public, this is our meeting.
That's right.
And the formal board meetings are our meetings.
Yeah.
But I would never,
And I think that's what people have forgotten.
it's not a public forum.
Yes.
It's not a forum for complaints.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna stick with, I think that form should be eliminated.
I think that form should be eliminated. I think we can consider a new form, consider language, but I think for the time being, that form should be eliminated and we should come together with some kind of new
Yes.
means to still allow the public to make comments, but I
Leave the
would,
recourse that's there in
Yes,
place, that's
absolutely.
always been in place and available to citizens.
and again, I encourage
Always.
these people to come to the meetings. So Kathleen, what is your opinion? We're
what's
voting
your-
on this particular
Yes.
issue.
Now, personally, in the last month, it's been at least 4 people, I've told them they can access that. And,
Yeah.
and some of them have been discussed here, and the result is what they were looking for. I think the language, I think we need to look at it and just have it a basic form without, doesn't have
Yeah.
like dates
Or
and stuff,
sign,
and
or-
that people have to sign and
Right.
office use only.
Yeah.
That we just say, it's just a basic.
Means of communicating to the.
Yeah.
We don't even call it citizens complaint form, we call it
Well, it's
a
called-
request
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Some
Yes.
nice, some
Yeah.
nicer language.
So why don't we
Right.
spend some time at our next work session
Session,
and
yeah.
come up with some new language for the form?
I'm still gonna say yes to eliminating it right now.
Okay,
I will agree with eliminating it now until we come up with a better form
Okay.
Right.
that's simpler and just gets to the point.
Okay.
Casey?
So, really, that form is that all on the website? It's just
Yes,
on
it's on the website.
So the only difference between that and going onto a piece of paper and writing it down and turning it into Charlie
Yeah.
is that it's on the website.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
just write it out,
Yeah.
on a
Right.
piece of paper and bring it into the
Yeah, that's
office.
it.
They can
I
send
mean,
us an email.
that's
They can
right.
email
That's
you guys.
basically it.
There's
I mean,
other avenues.
If there's no purpose to the only thing is accessibility. Anybody can write down a note and turn it in.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it's a PDF. You have
Yeah.
to download
Yeah.
it, fill it out, and
Yeah.
bring it into the office.
Right.
Right.
I don't see any harm in getting rid of it, but I do think that we should have some sort of form in the future.
Okay.
Yeah,
Harold?
we'll do that.
My only concern is that we either know legally or if there's an RSA as far as when we look at these pieces of paper. I've often seen it used, maybe not so much in our municipality, but when you have a citizen's complaint in other municipalities,
No.
where you can separate a civil issue from a legal issue with that paperwork.
I already called the government center, or what do you call it now?
Yeah.
NHMA.
And I
Yeah.
received and we do not have to legally at all.
It's a courtesy.
It was a courtesy. It was
It
done
was
as
a courtesy. We don't have to respond or,
I know we don't have to respond, but I'm saying if there's an issue
No.
from, say, a citizen to a citizen and they just want the town to be informed, that's a piece of paper that you can use for that instead of
Yeah.
involving the police department. Because Tony's
Right.
busy enough. He doesn't
Well,
need.
yeah.
he
but there's
doesn't-
nothing legal that they
No,
can
there
use
isn't.
on that document or we can use on that document.
No, it's just there to let us know if
Right.
somebody
Yeah.
has a complaint.
So Harold, what is your,
And that's what it
Vote.
started
I think
out
if we're
to
going to
be,
do away with it, we
courtesy.
should have something ready to put in its place. That's my
Oh, well.
that's my opinion.
okay, so you're voting that we don't do away with it. But, so it sounds like 4 people say we should get rid of it now and as soon as possible discuss an alternative.
Well, I thought we
So
were going to work on it at our next session.
we can work
Yeah.
at it our next work session.
That's
And
fine.
when I went to
It's
knowing
really
the
not a
terror.
pressing issue.
Yeah.
No, it is not. That's
No,
why our
it's
next
not.
work session and
Because
getting to.
they still have
Yeah.
those recourses.
And
like
now
I
we can
said.
get to Kathleen's point about making a real work session, and this is an ideal topic for a work session.
Right.
Right,
And I agree that we should be spending that time ironing out processes and looking forward with plans and everything rather than conducting this formal business.
well, if you read in the Knowing the Territory, it said that work sessions, some towns don't even have work sessions, they just have one meeting a month. But work sessions were originally intended to discuss things you're gonna put on the agenda for the formal meeting and how you were going to, so you didn't have to have huge discussions at the formal meeting. You would already be prepared with information
like
what you're gonna talk about.
Plymouth, they have their work session before their meeting.
Yes, Holderness does too.
So when they come in, I mean,
They're prepared.
they're prepared. No, it's not exciting viewing, sorry people, because they're prepared, they have the answers to everything on their agenda.
Yeah.
So it's a very, you could
I don't
almost
wanna
call
do it before though.
Well, no, but that's how they handle it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how they handle it. And the first few times I watched it, I went,
And that's what they
wow,
talk
how
about,
did they
yeah.
do, they got the answers to everything. There's very little discussions because they've already done
They've already done it.
beforehand. Yep.
All right, Casey, what's your opinion about changing the format of work sessions?
Oh, is that what we're discussing?
Yes. We've already just finished the other one.
Okay.
I don't wanna get rid of the public comment.
No, I don't either.
I mean, if there's stuff that's pressing.
But only at the
then
end.
we'll vote, right?
Yeah.
Only
Right.
at the end, not
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
beginning.
like we're not gonna get rid of anything at these work sessions. We're
No,
just
no,
gonna
no,
vote
no,
on it.
No.
No, absolutely not.
So what's the change?
The change is we're going to use that time to have more
What we're doing
in-depth
now.
discussion. Yeah, the kind of discussion we've just had now about process.
Yeah, consensus
And,
and
you know,
policies and things like that.
And planning a formal agenda with, you know.
Like
So-
we did
so-
for the policy,
Yeah.
when we met in the conference room, that when we sat there about the appointment policy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How easier, it was so much easier that we felt we could speak to each other, we were looking at each other.
And while you're mentioning policy, by the way, legally, the board can revise, change, or eliminate any policy we want at any time.
Okay.
So the only difference being if we had something like this come up during an actual meeting, we would push it off into
To a
Work
work session,
session.
precisely.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, Harold?
That's fine.
Okay,
Fine.
so we'll,
But what you said, the comments at the end keep, but
Yeah.
the comments
At the beginning,
before,
no.
I don't even know if we need it.
Yeah, work sessions, I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, work
Yeah.
sessions.
but we might discuss something and somebody in the audience will have some input on it.
Yeah.
Or wanted to clarify something we've said, and I'm fine with that. I'm really fine
And
with
at
that.
actual meetings, I think we should have it twice.
Yeah,
Once in the
yeah.
beginning and once at the end.
The people seem to be confused by that, and I don't understand why.
Yeah,
Well,
the end and I don't-
again, I think
yeah,
the
end
purpose
and
of
it's not
having something at the
necessary.
beginning, if there's an
It's for
agenda
people
item,
who wanna leave.
before we have a chance
It's
to
so they
vote
can
on
leave.
it.
Why?
They can give their input.
Well, not just leave, but if we're gonna vote on something and
Yeah.
somebody there has a really important piece of information to share with us
Yeah.
for our discussion, because we don't take comments during our discussion, so I'm fine with leaving it at the
And that's how
beginning
I
as well.
explain
Okay.
it too. You get to give a comment before we
Yeah, that's
discuss it,
Mm-hmm.
and a comment after. So
Yeah.
you could give us some insight to help us with the process.
Exactly.
Right.
This, you're participating. This is how government's supposed to work. People are
Right.
supposed to participate.
That's
Excellent,
That's
okay,
good, that's right.
that's good. Any other select board items?
good discussions.
Very good discussion, I appreciate it.
Well, do you have your agenda? I guess I have the agenda report for PROAC.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Other than,
So we're moving into liaisons?
If
I
we're
just want to make sure
done.
there's no other select board items, okay.
okay, I went to water and sewer. This month was the continuing maintenance of the system, and they replaced a hydrant on Highland Street and one at Racing Mart. The SCANDA contract was reviewed by legal and approved by commissioners. I finally asked what SCANDA meant, and it's supervisory control and data acquisition. The asset management contract was reviewed by legal and approved by the commissioners. They set up a water and sewer capital reserve account for new capital projects. They're coming along on the office construction update. And on June 21st, drinking water survey inspection, which is required by DES every 5 years, will take place. Friends of the Library purchased a new Roku 32-inch TV, for which now will enhance the teen movie night. It can be set up in the sunroom. I was
Nice.
there when they set it up. When they aren't using it, it goes on the mantle above the fireplace
Oh,
right
nice.
there. Yeah. So it eliminates the viewing of the movie on one of those desktop monitors
Oh, great.
by the circulation
Great.
desk, which is, I can't even believe
Yeah, those
kids,
are little,
yeah, they're like this, and I can't believe kids even were willing to come in and watch a movie.
that's how they were watching them?
Yes, that's how they were watching them.
Okay.
And Charlie announced the book
Wow.
sale. So you missed the big PROAC meeting. It ended at 9:30. It was quite long.
Well, then I didn't miss it.
We gotta get you reappointed. too.
That's right.
Yeah. The
I'm
main
not formally
focus,
reappointed
You gotta
yet.
get the form.
You're it.
yeah, the main focus was on a Q&A session with Tracy Sales, who's the Rivers and Lakes Manager at DES.
Right.
That's very good because we have some issues up on North Ashland Road that falls with the culvert had blown out a few years back, and now it's starting to erode, and the rocks they put to prevent people from going over the cliff are now sliding down. So she would be a point person because that's well within the PEMI overlay.
Yeah. it is.
Plus she does the lakes also. So, yeah, Tracy Sales. The discussion on the proposed new DES administrative rules and permit process. Yeah, we still talk about that a lot because they changed the acronyms, and some of them it's like, oh, why are you messing with this? But this is part of the public process. They have all these public meetings, groups like PERLAC and conservation commissions and lake associations all get to give their input before they make the final decision on the new administrative rules for DES. BMPs, they're coming out with new rules on BMPs, which is the best management practices that DPWs use.
Right.
So we have to keep an eye on that because some of the practices that have been in use are not, and she gave us a heads up, a lot of them are just going to be completely eliminated and new ones are going to be put in place.
Wow.
HB 1358, which would allow for that's the House bill, which would allow for automatic permit before the SEC to be given if the process took more than a year. That did not pass, so that's good news. Which would have been,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so in the case with Northern Pass, since
Right.
it took more than a year, if this
Right.
had passed, too bad, you didn't get it done in a year, it's automatically approved, so that fell by the wayside.
Okay.
They do now have a northern team for the water testing. And they have two volunteers for that. And
You on that? Are you on that?
Not on the northern, but that was for Thornton and Lincoln.
Because you got to walk down very steep cliffs to get to the water.
Well, they had two people volunteer.
Oh, good.
And they're going to the workshop, the water testing workshop.
Excellent.
Okay. So and this is what the other thing that came up, and it was discussed with Tracy. Was last winter's the high water and the amount of scouring that people have noticed along the river. I noticed it on my own property. It's amazing how high the PEMI can get during those periods. It's almost mind-boggling. You can see where I had a log that was probably this big around on the upper tier of some of my frontage that was completely taken away.
Oh, wow.
All the vegetation was taken away, and you could see where the ice way above my head had risen that far and scraped the trees up. So further north, one of the new members, he has he owns Ski Fanatics, and he rent the kayaks out of Plymouth. And one of their put-in spots up in Lincoln, the ramp they use is completely covered with cobbles now, and there was some discussion who has oversight of that, and I guess Fish and Game said it's not an official site, so it wasn't them. So it was kind of, okay, somebody put in a ramp there, and somebody must own it. But the other thing they noticed was the abutments that had been scoured, that had been undermined by all these rocks as they came down.
Union Bridge.
No, the rocks end of my property before they get down to Union Bridge.
The abutments of Union Bridge.
Yeah. So these were underwater that you could see, and then one of the other members is doing this survey of Warren where they had the flooding, and septic systems were impacted up there.
Sure.
So they had big issues that. Not only did the water rise higher than it ever had, but people's septic systems
The Baker or the PEMI?
The Baker.
Yeah.
And since that feeds into the PEMI,
Right.
some of that's still within the purview of PERLAC.
Several years ago, it wiped out a cemetery.
Yeah. So the general discussion is we are now having those 100-year storms, and they aren't occurring in 100 years.
Yes, that's true.
And they're very dramatic when they happen, and more people are noticing damage. What's the next step?
Yeah. Okay,
So-
thank you, Kathleen.
That's
Anything
it.
else?
Nope.
Anything, Harold?
Yep. Actually, we had our meeting with the 4th of July committee, the last one before the event. We
Nice.
still need some volunteers for parking and for during the activity events on the field prior to the fireworks. You can contact Kendall or Deb Hughes, or you could also contact David. He's on the committee. Might be able to help us out a little there. Budget committee, we had our mid-year review, or June review. Went over expenditures and expenses. Charlie came. Everything was pretty cut and dry. We're going to be meeting again in August.
Okay, thank you. Casey?
My notes from the electric department meeting are in my notebook that is at work, but
Okay.
I remember that they're looking for different metering systems. They're looking into different metering systems to try and save man hours when they're reading meters.
Yeah.
And I know there was more stuff, but I can't remember.
Okay,
I'll
well,
remember
you
next
can
time.
add to it the next time,
Yeah.
okay? Yes, Lee?
Yeah, I forgot, just briefly, a solar update. I'm working on hopefully 2 warrant articles for next March. One of them I think would be a zoning. I'm going to be asking the public that we, how do you put it, initiate net metering so that we can start getting some solar residences, and hopefully at some point I'd like to have all the town businesses and the school on solar renewable energy by 2025. That's my goal. And the other article, zoning article, would be for people concerned about the placement of solar panels on neighbors' yards or whatever, so they're not like in their face or on the border or whatever. I'm looking into that. And for people who don't know, there is a new form of solar panels they're called shingles, solar shingling, and they can put a whole solar panels right onto the roof, so it looks like
A roof,
yeah, it looks like a roof. It looks
Wow.
like tile.
Yeah.
That's from Tesla, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's another thing I'm looking into, and I'm getting ready to make an appointment with the electric department so that we can start discussing net metering.
Excellent. Thank you, Lee. Anything else? Okay, public comments? Seeing none? I assume we do not have a non-public, Charlie? I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.